What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, today I want to talk about a topic that I would say is pretty important when it comes to Call of Duty. And I say important because it means a lot to two sides. Some people really adore it, and some people completely despise this mechanic. And obviously, that is slide canceling. Now, in Modern Warfare 2, they decided to go ahead and remove slide canceling from the game, keep traditional sliding, but you can't really abuse that mechanic anymore. Now, of course, this causes a lot of drama in the Call of Duty community, not just with people who want slide canceling back into the game with the developers, but also between, just the community itself, people who want slide canceling and people who don't want slide canceling. They clash with one another. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, I don't really enjoy slide canceling that much. I can do it. I'm pretty sure anybody can do it out there. But, if I don't have to, I would gladly choose not to. You know what I'm saying? So, I enjoy the game without slide canceling. But a lot of the times, I like to think of the bigger picture. There's tons of people out there with tons of different opinions. Not me or any of you guys out there who are watching this video are completely correct when it comes to preferences within these games, If you enjoy something, you enjoy it, and if you hate something, you hate it. So at the end of the day, even though I prefer not to have slide canceling, I do understand where some people come from with wanting it in the game. It helps sped things up, it was a skill gap, and it allowed you to play in a more specific play style. Now, I do feel like there is a way that we can find a middle point for slide canceling when it comes to Modern Warfare 2. Allow the players who like to use this maneuver for a skill gap while still being able to allow players not to be forced to use it at all because it's mandatory, like how it was back in 2019. Something like how Halo Infinite kind of mastered the sprinting system. You can sprint in the game, they found a way to incorporate it into Halo. But at the same time, you don't have to sprint, it's not necessarily needed. You can easily just walk around and almost basically catch up with your whole team who is deciding to sprint. So they're able to incorporate something that people want while at the same time pleasing the other fan base who doesn't want it at all. Now, when I think back to what made slide canceling so tedious for me in 2019, I think about how necessary it was to get an advantage over your opponents. In a game where power positions were so crucial, especially in OBJ game modes, you're playing domination, getting a good power position that can cover a flag will literally determine if you win or if you lose that game. And this is obvious knowledge, it goes across the board to all different titles. If you are playing Halo, any type of Halo game, you want to rush for the power weapons. If you're playing Battlefield, you want to rush to the best flag point on Conquest to be able to get central control or just, a very great power position to give you good spawns. There's always stuff that you have to prioritize. But in these games, especially Call of Duty, it takes gun skill to win over these positions, But with slide canceling being introduced into Modern Warfare 2019, it allowed you to get an extra speed boost. So instead of both of you, if you know how to, play the map, if you understand where to go, instead of, versing your equal self, obviously because it's skill-based matchmaking, and getting to this power position at the same time and then determining who has the better gun skill, it turns into who also knows the movement mechanic that helps you speed boost to get there faster, which, once again, it is a skill gap, but it becomes over-obsessive because it's not just to the initial first, spawn trap or the first initial power position. That's not the case when it comes to this. It's 24/7. Every single spot that you go, you'll just become accustomed to using slide canceling because it will get you there 10 times faster. For anybody who doesn't know, because I do know there's a lot of players out there who didn't even bother slide canceling in Modern Warfare 2019, but every gen, you're tac sprint, and as we all know, tac sprinting is the fastest way to sprint in that game. So once you run out of tac sprint, you slide cancel about 2-3 times, you get it right back, and you keep the momentum going. So, it became something that just you were accustomed to doing. And it was tiring. And it got to a point where you couldn't play that game without slide canceling because everybody finally understood how crucial it was. And it got to a point where that was basically an official movement method in Modern Warfare 2. It's almost like the developers did purposely program it, even though they didn't. It seems like they did because that's how much people use it nowadays. And honestly, it's one of the main reasons why I enjoy the movement more in Modern Warfare 2 2022 here. Because it has all the, the movement mechanics. You can slide, you can dolphin dive, you can tac sprint, you could do pretty much every single movement that has ever been introduced in Call of Duty history. but it's not over the top. The only thing, really weighing down on it is dead silence and also the loud footstep noise. But other than that, I enjoy the playstyle because, like I said, it goes back to classic COD. Who can take over the power position? Who can take over the flag? Who has the better gun skill instead of who can get there faster, get a better pre-aim angle on someone, and then, wait for them to go into their crosshair. That's what it turns out to be nowadays when it comes to a Call of Duty game. But there is a skill gap that I absolutely loved about slide canceling, which I think they can introduce back into the game to give slide canceling that feel that I think everybody craves without giving everyone the speed boost that, really makes it a crutch movement idea. Now, what I did enjoy about slide canceling is the fact that you can get the jump on someone who's playing defense. They're, trying to patrol a flag, an area, or just even someone who's camping in the back of the map. It allowed you to get the jump on them by turning corners in a different way, allowing you to ADS a bit faster. And honestly, like I said, it's just like jump shotting or bunny hopping around the corner. It's just a different technique. That's what I enjoy most about it. And honestly, I wouldn't be mad if Infinity Ward introduced it back into the game, but only allowed it in that manner. They would pretty much have to copy the Halo formula, how they try to balance it throughout the community, allowing you to sprint, but not making it completely necessary. The same thing has to happen here. Allow people to slide cancel. Allow them to use this mechanic. If they want to slide around a wall, and to get a little bit of a jump on an enemy, allow them to do so. But don't make that player turn into the speediest, fastest, individual in the world and make the regular sprint or tack sprint completely useless. And don't allow slide canceling to regen your tack sprint to make you even more faster if you can abuse the mechanic. Don't do that. If they can balance that out perfectly, and, allow people who just want to regularly sprint and not have to, break their controllers, more casualized players, just allow them to enjoy the experience while also allowing anybody who's trying to get a competitive edge or someone who's just trying to play competitive in general to use that mechanic in their own way. They can make that happen. It's not an impossible task. I've watched so many different franchises incorporate more complex systems than something like this into their game. And the funniest part about it is that the developers at Infinity Ward said that if slide canceling got a ton of, negative feedback, the removal of it, with a flip of a switch, they could reintroduce it back into the game. So if it's as simple as flipping a switch to turn on and off slide canceling, I don't see why you can put slide canceling on without it turning into a movement crutch. You know what I'm saying here? This is what makes me so confused with so many development teams, is they say all of these things, and then the next day, they make it seem like it's the most impossible task to ever improve. The minimap was in the game. And guess what? They took it out of the game. And now it's too much of an issue to put it back in. Why is it too much of an issue? You literally just had it in the game. I mean, oh, man. But like I said, this, I think, would be the best of all worlds. This would allow all playstyles, all individuals to be able to enjoy this experience without it becoming too tedious. But please, ladies and gentlemen, go down in the comment section and leave your opinions down below on how you feel about this mechanic in the Modern Warfare franchise. I know it's been messed around a bit when it comes to Black Ops Cold War and also Vanguard, but I know there is a huge fan base out there who loves slide canceling in Modern Warfare 2019. Because let's be honest here, one of the biggest things that's in Call of Duty right now is Warzone. And people love slide canceling in Warzone because the mechanic originated in MW 2019. It just makes logical sense. So I can see where some of these people are coming from, where they want it back. But I feel like it could be tweaked for the best of all worlds. There is a way to please the majority of the community when it comes to the movement within COD. They just won't go and actually try to do it. They only have the mindset of either completely removing it or have it completely in the experience. They don't want to think for the middle ground for everyone. And also, I keep forgetting to say this, DMZ, don't forget about that game mode. That's very huge for Infinity Ward right now. They're treating DMZ like they treated the original version of Warzone. Warzone 2 is, they definitely are not putting as much work into that experience as people are thinking they are compared to DMZ. And in a tactical style mode like DMZ, having people slide around like that and that type of experience just doesn't work too nicely. So you got to think that's probably where Infinity Ward is coming from. But don't forget, like I said, they need to separate multiplayer from their other modes. But I'm just going to leave it there, guys. Thank you so much for checking out this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like. Bums, I hate it. Leave a dislike. Also, if you're brand new, enjoy the content, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification button. Also, want to chat with me, the stories do so. I have a Twitter and Discord, both linked down in the description. And also, if you want to catch me live streams of video games, do over on Twitch. Link that is in the description as well. But guys, thanks so much for tuning in. See you all next one. Peace out.